Just got some breaking news in, and that's Heathrow Airport confirming passengers will face major delays after a cyber attack last night, apparently affecting multiple airports right across Europe.
Brussels Airport have said staff are having to conduct manual check-in and boarding procedures as the automated systems have been affected, so you can only imagine how long that will take.
A spokesperson has said holidaymakers must check with airlines before travelling.
Let's see if we can speak now to the travel journalist and expert on all of these things, Simon Calder. Hello, Simon. Hi. What has happened? How can you explain what you think has happened?
OK, well, good to see you both. So what seems to have happened, and I'm going here from the information that Brussels Airport has been putting out this morning, just in the last few minutes. They say there was a serious cyber attack that happened last night. As a result of that, it's taken out the systems that are supposed to allow people to check in. As a result, everything is being done manually, and you will know just how complicated aviation is. If things start going wrong, then they unravel very quickly. Brussels seems to be the worst affected airport so far. They're saying don't even go to the airport if you've got a flight booked unless you know it's going ahead. And meanwhile, Berlin is also saying that we're being affected by this. And as a result of that, the problem is that the airlines are going to find that their flights are all out of position. For instance, there's a British Airways flight due out a couple of hours ago from Berlin. That hasn't happened. Therefore, we will see that, unfortunately, there are problems right across the day. Heathrow is saying that the affected company was called Collins Aerospace, and they're warning people, check with your airline before you go, but expect possible delays and disruption. And they're also stressing don't get to the airport more than 3 hours before a long-haul flight or more than 2 hours before a short-haul flight, because they don't want big queues building up.
Yeah, is this going to affect only Heathrow as far as British travellers are concerned, Simon, or will it affect all of our major hubs?
Well, it's going to affect airports where you have got the situation where you have, first of all, Collins Aerospace Systems while they get it fixed. But then, of course, it starts to unravel. Low-cost airlines are absolutely reliant upon the whole idea that you're going to get a lot of people flying in and out, and you've got to get those people off those planes and on the next one in the next half hour or so. And if that starts going wrong, then immediately you are looking at very serious problems for the aviation industry. It's a busy old Saturday. It's still late summer, millions of people traveling across Europe. And so I'm afraid it's looking as though there are going to be problems later today. Having said that, if your flight's not affected and do check, then turn up at the airport as normally, even if you are going to Berlin or Brussels. And of course, other airports are going to be affected too.
And what about travel insurance, for instance? Would that cover for cyber disruption?
Really good question. Actually, the main problem, it's not really an insurance issue. The main problem is, or the main issue is that you will find that the airlines have to provide you with alternative flights, with care. If people are stranded overnight, for instance, in Berlin or Brussels, then the airline has to provide them with meals and accommodation and get them on their way as soon as possible. So it's not strictly a problem involving insurance. Your airline should be taking care of you. And of course, this is the last thing that they want. They get really fed up with airport problems because they end up picking up the tab.
Yeah, indeed. All right, so before we let you go, Simon, where are you today?
Beautiful Ostrava, just travelled across the Polish border into the Czech Republic. As you can tell, it's just a little bit too sunny, but I'm sure I'll cope.
Oh,
I bet you will. Lovely. It does. It looks wonderful.
It's always good to see you. Thanks, Simon.
News: Heathrow Airport has confirmed that passengers will face major delays after a suspected cyber attack on Friday night that has affected multiple airports across Europe.
Brussels Airport have said staff are having to conduct manual check-in and boarding procedures as the automated systems have been affected.
Now, a spokesperson from Heathrow has told holidaymakers to check with airlines before travelling, and Collins Aerospace say they are actively actively working to resolve the issue.
Well, joining us now is aviation security expert Julian Bray. So, Julian, what exactly is going on here?
Yes, good morning. Well, what has happened at a third-party system, this is Collins Aerospace, who provide software which feeds into the automated systems of Heathrow and other major European hubs. Now, this deals with the booking, the routing, and also the baggage handling. So the point is they're asking people to ring their airline first before they set out for the airport. Quite simply, there are going to be delays building up all around Europe the whole day. There's going to be backlogs, and it's going to be chaos for a while until they sort this particular bug out. Now, this is the latest in a line of cyber attacks. They're saying it's probably a cyber attack. It is very definitely a cyber attack. And what is happening, these disruptions do actually have a knock-on effect. So it might happen today, and they might clear it up today, but it will affect the whole aviation business for about another 3, 4, 5 days. So the message is, please don't set out for the airport. Telephone your airline first, check that you actually have a flight to go to.
And Julian, obviously the first question that arises when these cyber attacks occurs, people want to know who's responsible. Do you have any preliminary assessment on that?
There are several major actors who are not working in the best interests of the UK at the moment. You probably realise we live in a heightened security threat at the moment. A lot of them are Russian-based. It hasn't been traced back to Russia, but the point is somebody has interfered with this system and it has a knock-on effect. And that's what happens when you have global systems operating. They're all interlinked. And so you can bet your bottom dollar they are trying to urgently discover what's happened. As it is, we've got Jaguar Land Rover out. They had a cyber attack, 2 weeks ago, and they're still not back in production. So this is another long series. We can expect more in the future, the way this is going. It's not very good.
And can we have any more information about who these actors are? I mean, it's sounding like hostile foreign states, and the idea that these are going to become more and more frequent is very alarming. Is that the case?
That is certainly the case, because we are in a situation where we are engaged in several conflict zones around the world. As it is, if you book onto a long-haul flight these days, you'll find that your flight takes a lot longer because they can't go directly from A to B. They had to fly around and a kind of a circular route in order to get to your destination. Because of the conflict zones, the battle areas, if you like, war zones, and all that is happening, and still civil aviation has to deal with it, and all forms. It's not just holidaymakers that have been affected. This is also cargo, business travel. In fact, all forms of aviation are affected by this.
OK, Julian Bray, aviation security expert, thank you for your time this morning on this developing story.